Anthony Pepe were really good at managing my expectations on how I wanted to sell and buy a property, because they were so familiar and so personable, which I think sometimes estate agents can be quite scary, whereas George and Anthony Pepe they were really helpful, and they were always in contact, which was nice, and you never felt that you could ring them at any time and you weren't bothering them. That's what I felt like, whereas sometimes you get the feeling that you're hounding an estate agent, and actually they were there doing it before I had a chance to get to them, so that was really good for me. So for us, I think we just worked together. We thought it would be really good that the house we wanted to buy, they had on their books, and therefore we wanted to sell ours, so it just made sense to try and minimise the chain and have one estate agent manage the whole deal, really. I think that the fact, obviously, like you say, that we had the sale and the purchase together made it extremely easy, but in terms of selling a property, they were there to do everything you expected them to do. They were managing the person that was buying your property. Ari and George were on the ball every week. They were ringing before I had a chance to ring them, which you do with estate agents. You normally have to hound them.
She would be on the phone.
Yeah, I would, definitely. They were ringing us and telling us, like, at each stage of the chain, you know, where we were, where everyone had got to, what we were expecting next, and when we could expect to exchange. And it was just really well managed, and that's why I gave them such a lovely, a lovely review, because I think they were really nice estate agents. Mm-hmm. They were good for us.
Well, I was mostly being kept informed by Vicky, to be honest. But everything I've heard about Anthony Pepe's management of the sale was really good. Vicky's all over people like a rash if they're not meeting her exacting standards. And I don't think I heard one complaint from her the whole time.
They just managed it beyond, it wasn't just general letting solicitors manage it all. They would actually get involved, which for me, I think you sometimes need that. You need an estate agent to push it. I think for us, Anthony Pepe and the guys there, they were emailing and contacting solicitors. They actually had to go and get some documents from the guy that lived in the flat above us, and I didn't have a car that day, and I had Lily, and I couldn't get to where I needed to get, so they were running off to get documents and photocopy them for me, and I was like, thank you so much. So yeah, I think they went above and beyond, to be honest, which you don't get from everybody. So they seem to know our area. We just lived around the corner, so they appreciated that actually we wanted to move around into the local community. We didn't want to leave. We've got Lily, and we didn't want to move, so they kind of moved mountains to help us stay here, I think, really. So that was quite good. They had also their quite favourable terms in terms of the way they were trying out new things with regard to percentages and their rates and things. And to me, that's quite, that's quite revolutionary in the estate agent world. You've got to move with the times a little bit, and I think they do. And they're certainly aware of what people are expecting from an estate agent. They were just such nice people, so I can't recommend them enough.
What I really liked about Anthony Pepe is it was an independent estate agent, and I'm big on searching for independence. I just prefer a more personal touch. I found myself on a random afternoon walking up and down the high street and just popped in, saw a lovely big open window, great big map on the wall, and went and asked. I went into Anthony Pepe, I told them exactly what I wanted. I was handed several pieces of paper, talked through my needs, and I felt like I was taken seriously. I wasn't even local when I was doing it. I was doing it at the end of phones. So it was even better to have somebody who was so personal and rational and calm and could talk me through what I needed to know at exactly the right time. I had Ben looking after me, who was brilliant. It's difficult buying a house, but Ben kept on board and talked me through everything, and with a lot of perseverance, we got the house that I wanted, and I'm so glad I'm here. If I sold the property, I would sell through Anthony Pepe. I had such a great experience buying through them. And recently, my friend who lives locally, she wanted to sell her property, and my first suggestion was, try my guys, they've been brilliant.